Hello, friends. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, the 23rd. Merry Christmas Eve. It's Merry Christmas Eve. I'm your host, Michael D. Butler. I just wanted to jump on. It's been so long since I've done a live, and I wanted to check in with family, friends, colleagues, authors, business partners around the globe and say hi to everyone. And really excited to reconnect with you. What are you doing? Are you traveling? Are you staying home for Christmas? Let me know what you're doing and let me know what you're up to. It's good to hear from you, Samantha, in England, in the UK, or you in Florida. Let me know where you're at. Let me type into the comments in the chat there. I love your Christmas bling. Yes, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. And it's going to get quiet. It's going to get real noisy over here, but it's going to get quiet online and you're traveling. So safe travels to everyone. Is my volume okay? And let me know. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down on the volume. We're trying something new here, but I used to use StreamYard a lot. And off to Denver. Okay, the Mile High City. So Merry Christmas to friends and family and everyone around. Thank you, Samantha. I appreciate that. I appreciate that feedback. I'm glad you're here. Merry Christmas from Iraq. We got Iraq watching, so there you go. So wishing you a Merry Christmas in Iraq. So glad that you're watching, and let me know where you're watching from. Michael D. Butler here, Dallas, Texas, Beyond Publishing. It's been an epic year, and I just want to say hello to everyone. I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. I'm glad you're here. And excuse me, just to kind of give you a recap on the year. And, COVID was crazy, but we were still in a lot of countries. We were traveling a lot, doing business in a lot of countries. We have authors now in 30 countries. But April was really, really special. And I got to tell you the reason April was special. We have a nonprofit in Pakistan. And we have 186 kids that we feed over there. 1040impact.org, you see on the screen, and we feed them, clothe them, educate them, and minister to them daily. And our team of 25 plus volunteers on the ground that are caring for them in the safe house and in the school. It's been life-changing. So thank you to everyone. And let me know what you're up to. Let me know what you're up to this Christmas. But I got to say, what we did in April, I took one of my board members and one of her staffers to speak at several women's conferences in Pakistan with over 500 women. So we spoke to a total of thousands of people, but the women's conferences, 500 women, just amazing. The women came out, they were encouraged, they were ministered to from the Word of God, and then also from an entrepreneurial standpoint of how to start a business, empowering women to start businesses and to do things amazing, and funding in their country. So it's just remarkable, incredible. Pastor Julie is on our board of 1040 Impact, and she has spoken all over that part of the world in the 1040 window, including India and Nepal, and this time bringing her to Pakistan was one of the things we wanted to do. And Charles Jones, one of my other board members who came with me, who's been a lifelong friend since third grade, Charlie Jones was with me, and I'll just say it was epic and life-changing to spend 12 days in the country and travel all over the country. Multan, Lahore, landing in Lahore, spending a few days in Lahore, and then doing our meetings twice daily, sometimes 3 times daily in Sahiwal, and then going into Multan, empowering, equipping, encouraging the believers all over the country, and particularly our staff and our team that is ministering daily, day in, day out, educating, feeding, clothing, educating, and equipping the young people. And we all know what happened in at the end of August, the beginning of September, when the world pulled out of Afghanistan. We know that left a huge vacuum. excuse me, friends, but left a huge vacuum there. In fact, as a parent, for those of you that are parents, it's hard to imagine how desperate you are that you're going to sell your daughters to a broker, and he's going to traffic the daughters. But door number one or door number two, the evil is the Taliban, and you assume that it can't get any worse than that. And so you pray to God and you throw a prayer and you sell your daughters because it will be better than staying there with the Taliban. So I reached out to many of you, and many of you came through for us in August and September, and we were able to rescue 26 of those girls with our team on the ground. And we securely purchased them and redeemed them so that they will not be trafficked again. They're safe in our safe house and in our school, and they're being ministered to daily. Not only did they get medical attention from the medical team, but they also got new clothes, shoes, Bibles, books. They're being taught the Word of God. They're being taught school, their education, math, and reading and writing and arithmetic every day. So we're grateful for that. So thank you for all those of you that have stepped up to help us, which puts the total number of kids that we are feeding, clothing, educating, and ministering to on a daily basis, 186. Those are the kids that are in the orphanage, our safe house, and in our school. And then the older girls that we're sending to cosmetology school so that they can have worthwhile, productive, legal employment and not have to go back into trafficking. In Pakistan, it's illegal for a Christian to go to college. It's illegal for a Christian to get a government job. And primarily the Christians in Pakistan, because it's 2%, are street sweepers, work in the brick kilns as a slave, indentured servitude that they can never get out of because of the rampant debt that's not monitored or controlled. It's like going to a payday loan times 10,000, because a family does that once and then 3 generations of poverty because of the inflation. They're never able to pay off the debt, even though they work 6-7 days a week in the hot sun to make bricks. So those of you that have followed us for a while, that have helped us, we appreciate you. We've redeemed 100 kids that we purchased from the brick kiln that are being educated. That brings our total with the safe house, the orphanage, and the school now to 186 kids that we're caring for daily. Thank you so much. In fact, I'll be posting some of the pictures and videos in the coming days here, the next couple of days. They received their Christmas gift baskets from you. They received the food. They received the blankets and the clothes and the things that we were able to purchase for them with the dollars that you donated. So thank you so much. But I just kind of wanted to check in here. I'm sorry, my throat's a little raspy. I didn't realize I'd get choked up here. So those were 2 highlights of my year. And of course, seeing my grandson in Liverpool in August when I was speaking in Brighton, England, at an event, a big outdoor festival, music festival and worship event in Brighton, and then going up, renting a car and going up to Liverpool to see my grandson, who's 4 now, turning 4 actually in February. So he's just growing and doing great. So be with family and friends in the coming days. Wishing you a Merry Christmas. The end of the year is always time for me to reflect personally and from a business standpoint. And we've got some exciting things coming this year. So that was a little bit on the nonprofit side. On the business side, the company grew by 250 book titles to a total of 612 book titles in the last 5 years. And now that we've partnered with the Mark Victor Hansen brand as the CEO of the Mark Victor Hansen Library, working with Mark Victor Hansen, Crystal Hansen, and Tom Black as our team moving forward, we've got some exciting things that will be coming right after the first of the year that we'll be announcing and letting you know about. So if you're one of our Beyond Publishing authors, You'll continue to get the same great service, distribution, and opportunities to share your message and share your book. But that will also be enhanced in addition to the Mark Victor Hansen brand, where we will be able to cross promote, add more exposure and more opportunities as we move forward and grow these brands together globally. And the exciting thing is readership is up globally. People are reading now more than ever. And we're really focusing on movies. We're focusing on turning books into movies, books into screenplays, and then also pitching them to Hollywood for movie opportunities. So as we move into the new year and you set your New Year's goals and you spend time with family, begin to think about what the world needs to see on the big screen with your book, with your story, and let's have a conversation around that. And speaking of new books, I've got a new book that's doing really well that we launched just 2 months ago called Finding the Speaker's Edge. This is for people that want to turn their part-time passion into their full-time speaking career, speaking from stage and online. You know, the speaking industry right now is about $2 billion a year. In the next 8 years, it's going to grow to a $100 billion company. And biggest fear people have next to the fear of death is the fear of public speaking. And actually, I always wanted to be a public speaker, even though I grew up stuttering as a kid and was intimidated by the crowd. I don't remember who snapped this first picture of me giving my first speech at age 11, but there it is. I'm giving my first speech at age 11, and guess what? I did it without stuttering. And so I have a lot of fun diving into this book, and it's 150 pages of goodness. And I'll just give you some of the contents and what's inside of the hardcover here and the paperback as well. I'm getting a lot of really good feedback. In fact, it's endorsed by Mark Victor Hansen, who says, study this book and memorize every word Butler says. His coaching is outstanding. And thank you for those kind words. Dr. Talid and Dr. Daniel King on the back also have some nice things to say about it. But this book is about finding your voice. It's about picking a lane. It's about how to monetize your message. And I talk about how to be a better communicator. And I talk about how to get yourself booked on stages to speak in 2022, how to overcome fear. How do you prepare for the presentation? How do you brand and market yourself? What are the key aspects when selling from stage? How do you generate revenue and generate speaking gigs? Starting out at giving free speeches. And one thing I talk about in the book is speaking for free. You know, Zig Ziglar said, I gave hundreds of speeches for free before I ever got paid for a speech. And there's a way that you can actually put money in your pocket by speaking for free, and it's by speaking at Rotary clubs. There are thousands of Rotary clubs in America where you can get on a waiting list to go speak at a Rotary club for free, sell your book, and then pick up primary clients from that. Every time you deliver your speech, you get better at it. You sell books, and then it attracts people that want to hire you as a client. They want you to come speak. In fact, one of our authors just got booked. We're launching her book called Zoe, and it's a fiction book. And her background is in IT consulting. In fact, we just hooked her up with a IT consulting gig, Ivy Hung, and she'll be speaking in Kentucky next year in May at the Rocket Women's Conference. So thank you, Dee Dee Cox, for helping us set that up with Shannon. Last year, they had the CEO of Humana speaking there. So your book can really open doors to get you on stages, but you don't have to start with the $10,000 paid speaking gig or the $5,000. You can actually speak for free. In fact, I was speaking for free not long ago in Florida, and I prefer to speak this way because when I get on stage, I was just interviewed for 20 minutes. Well, in that 20 minutes time, 3 people hired me, and it netted me $45,000. So if I were to be asked, what is my speaking fee is $140,000 an hour. Most people would rather not pay me that to speak, but I say, look, let's do a rev share. I'll get on your stage for a few minutes. You interview me. We'll talk about some concepts in one of my books, and then I'll give you a percentage of what we close from the stage. So I go into concepts on that, on how to get booked on stage, how to sell yourself, how to raise your prices, how to negotiate the speaking fee, how to negotiate the contract, and then what websites to get on to get more speaking gigs. So this is all important. The book writing and publishing and the speaking, they all work hand in hand. And if you want to be a paid professional speaker, my dad says this book is simply outstanding. So thank you, Dad. And I learned a lot of my public speaking from Dad, actually, who was an ordained minister and gave thousands of sermons and lessons from the podium as I was growing up. But it also comes from my experience of giving 3,000 messages as an ordained minister, but also delivering talks in the business world, in the network marketing, and in the business community of entrepreneurship. I talk about the different types of stages, about paid corporate speaking gigs. I talk about the different verticals there that you can invoice for and get paid for, from diversity, inclusion, customer engagement, corporate culture, safety. Safety is one of the top paying gigs if you're going to speak in corporate. And the big one for the next 7 years will be diversity inclusion. I tell you how to break it down, how to get paid on that, and not just as a one-time speaker, but how to monetize it by building a program around it, having a workshop, not just your keynote, but also your book and your entire coaching program around that. So you get a lot of value for that book, Finding the Speaker's Edge. In fact, what I'm going to do into the new year, we're going to break this down some, and we're going to give some nuts and bolts. And I'll go through each chapter and do some reading on this. But also, I'm going to be doing more live stream. Notice how I did the paperback gloss and the hardcover matte. And actually, this was from a print run. If you order it online from Amazon or Barnes & Noble, it's actually going to be matte. So just a little fun fact for you. All kinds of ways to monetize your book. And I'll give you another good example I talk about in the book. Jeff Trilly, my friend in Dallas, who is in the PR business. And years ago, that's how he was making $200,000 a year. I met him 20 years ago, and he was speaking at all the Rotary clubs for free, sold a lot of books, and picked up a lot of primary customers doing exactly what I just taught you. So, is there money to be made in public speaking? Absolutely, there is. I even talk about the pros and cons of hosting your own event versus speaking on somebody else's stage, and either taking an honorarium from them or negotiating a rev split on the back end to be able to sell from their stage. And in fact, speaking of events, we'll be hosting a number of events. You can go on michaeldbutler.com/events and see that a number of events that we'll be hosting in globally and in the U.S., including but not limited to London, England, Jerusalem, Israel, Beijing, China, the Italy Book Show, the Frankfurt Book Show in Germany, the Guadalajara Book Show in Mexico, the Miami Book Show in Miami, Florida, the New York Book Shows, the book shows that are in the U.S., and then also every month in Dallas, I host what's called the Author Red Carpet. And if you go to authorredcarpet.com, you can see where we host and interview authors in the studio. In fact, I'm going to show you a little clip. Let's see if I can share the screen here. Yeah, I can share a screen. Show you a little clip of coming trailer, coming attractions here. Make the screen big. And yeah, just message me if you want information on the dates. The next one is January 14th in Dallas. You'll need to get yourself to Dallas in the afternoon. We'll be shooting in the studio for 3 hours, and I can interview you about your book. So ask me about the details. And also the Michael D Show, which we've been filming under the brand Michael D for a long time. A lot of the interviews we've done with our authors around the globe have come under that brand. And the name of the show moving forward in 2022 is Around the World with Michael D. And we've got that roll in that we will show you right now.
became a Christian that night.
I gave back.
All right, so there you have it. Just a little teaser on that, and just a little teaser on that. So that's going to be coming. So I don't know if you saw that or not. So I think I'm going to play it for you again. All right.
Today we're at XR State.
I became a Christian that night.
I gave back.
All right, there you have it. That's kind of exciting, right? And fun stuff, fun stuff. So I'm glad you joined me today, and great to hear from you. Merry Christmas to everybody. From England, there's Elizabeth, our fun, great author there in England. And we have Samantha here, who's also from England, all over the country. And I spent so much good time in England this summer, just driving all over the country and doing business and speaking. There's Brian. Hey, Brian, buddy. How you doing? So I want to encourage you this Christmas, enjoy your time with friends and family. Let me know what you're up to. Let me know what your goals are. In fact, Brian, I'll be reaching out to you. We're hosting an event in Scottsdale in May. So if you keep an eye on our event page on michaeldbutler.com, you'll see it. We're doing an event there with our partner, Mark Victor Hansen, in May for authors and speakers. So, excuse me, you don't want to miss that. And of course, we're coming to London in April for the book show. More information to come on that as well. In spite of COVID, in the face of COVID, we will challenge and we will win COVID. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm going to go make some pies and wrap some gifts. And it's going to be great to see my 4 sons and talk to my 2 grandsons and my brother and my parents. And just wishing you all the love and happiness and everything you've been asking God for and believing for, that you receive, and that it come to pass for you, if not this year, very soon in 22, and that 22 is your best year ever. Thanks for watching, and let me know how I can help you and how we can work together. Bye-bye.